Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again with another video, and this time around we're talking about bias in trading. Bias in trading, or in other terms, the trend. Like the retail concept, they call it the trend, and for me, I'm gonna be going with the bias. So, in other term, it's all the same thing. So, bias in trading. So, bias refers to the directional expectation a trader has over a specific instrument, okay, or a trading pair. So it refers to the directional expectation you as a trader you are expecting for a specific pair. So for example, either you're expecting for price to move higher, or you're expecting price to go lower. That is the bias. So if today your bias is bullish, meaning that you're expecting price to go higher, or bearish, you're expecting price to go bearish, you're expecting price to go lower. Now, in this scenario, I'm going to be focusing on daily bias. And daily bias, with the focus I'm going to be putting on daily bias, this is going to help you be able to use the same concept when looking for weekly bias or even monthly bias, as well as session bias. With session bias, it's even more complicated that I don't think I'll be able to cover in this video. But if you can be able to take in whatever I'm going to be talking about here on daily bias, you can as well incorporate it on those other time frames. So why is the daily bias important? Importance of daily bias, first of all, is focus. It keeps you aligned with higher probability trades. It's important because it keeps you focused. Focused and keeps you aligned with high probability trades. Because if you don't understand the bias, the market is always choppy. Sometimes the market is always moving sideways, up and down, up and down. And if you're caught in between selling when you're supposed to be buying, or buying when you're supposed to be selling, and now when it is now the right time to sell, you're now buying, you'll always lose money. So you have to understand the daily bias, like what is the day going to, what is going to be happening along the day. Okay, what is happening along the day, it's so important. It will keep you focused. Understanding this, it will keep you focused. That is the first thing. Second of all, it will reduce over trading by filtering setups. Okay, now you won't have to be taking every trade that is coming your way. Once you understand that your daily bias is bullish, your focus is on buying and buying and buying only. Okay, once you understand that you're supposed to be going up, like the daily bias is bullish, your focus should be on buying. So you don't take anything that has to do with sales. And you see, that will reduce over trading. So majority of traders have this issue of trading, taking unplanned trades and so on. And this is happening because they don't even know what they're supposed to be doing. So they want to catch every setup. They want to try and beat the market, something that will never happen. Don't even try to beat the markets. Just take the information it's giving you and use it against it to win. So that depends on the probabilities. You win, you lose. Stay okay with that. So that is what now I call efficiency. Efficiency. So efficiency, trading efficiency. So first of all, having a daily bias will keep us focused. It will give us efficiency. And sorry, that was supposed to be let me get it back there. Okay. And lastly, confidence. You see, when you understand the daily bias, you're gonna have it's gonna strengthen your decision making based on a clear plan. Okay, it's gonna boost your confidence in taking trades. Guys, I want you to pay close attention to whatever I'm talking about here. These are just the advantages or the importance of understanding daily bias, understanding where the market is headed to, understanding what's happening in the markets. It's very important that you get to know these things. So when you understand daily bias, it will give you focus in trading. It will give you efficiency in trading. It will give you confidence in trading because now you understand where the day is going to be going or what's happening. So you're not afraid to take trades because you're not on the wrong side of the markets. Now, let us now go into the second part of how to establish a daily bias and intraday. And this is ICT inspired. We gotta give credits where it is due to. This is ICT concept, so it is ICT inspired. So, how to establish a daily bias, this is for intraday traders. This is not majorly for swing traders, but also you can apply the same very concept for swing trading. It's the same exact thing. The only difference is that the time frames that we're using here. Okay, so how to establish daily bias? Let me put this title down here. How to establish a daily bias. And I hope you're taking notes because the mind often forgets. So if you can have a note somewhere where you can be able to refer back in case, or maybe you come back and watch the video again and again and again and again, that's fine. So how to establish a daily bias. Okay. So here's a structured way to help you develop your daily, bias in both technical and contextual tools. Okay. So we first go with higher time frames. In this scenario, I'm going to be using the daily candle or the daily chart. Okay. So we're going to be marking the higher high and higher lows. Okay. So for example, or maybe let me just give you a quick way. Let me give you a quick way. To easily spot or easily establish a daily bias. A very quick one that won't take much of your time. I want us to go somewhere here because up there I've really written some stuff that I don't want to mess up. So let us start with this candle here. Okay, this candle opened here. It dropped to create this low. This is the low, and went up here and to give us that high. Hope I've marked it correctly. That high, then closed back here. Okay, so in other terms, this candle here, this is of Monday 23rd June 2025. It closed bullish. We opened here, dropped down to take liquidity below here, creating this low. We came back in, went higher, created that high, then closed here. This was already a sign that we are interested in taking liquidity up here. So the next day, when the next day comes in, what exactly happened? We went for that. But this is not just enough. This is not enough because the relationship between this candle and the previous one is still undecided or within the range of the previous candle, because the previous candle, this is the high and the low of the previous candle. Now, this candle that we are currently using closed its body in within the range of the previous candle. So this was more of an let me say, undecided market situation, but with the understanding of a liquidity that we had already taken liquidity below here. As you can see, through this week, we took liquidity over here and the market went back to closing and we closed higher than where we closed on the previous day. The previous day closed only here, but this day of 23rd June, we closed up higher than it. That shows that we were interested in targeting something above, which are these highs. That is liquidity. Remember, if you don't understand liquidity, I did another video on how to spot liquidity and how to use them. So I'm not going to go into this video. This video is specifically about bias. Now, for Advanced traders who knew that, now maybe if you move into shorter time, lower time frames, like for example, like hourly and so on, once you understand that this was what was happening, so this day you position yourself for anything, any setup that deals with buys, whether it is support, whether it is double bottoms, whether it is a head shoulder pattern that supports buys, whether it is London kill zone, New York kill zone, Judas swing, silver bullet. I don't care. As much as you understand the bias and you have a setup, be it retail concept or ICT concept or SMC concept, as much as it aligns with the daily bias, you just buy it, and that's it. So let's move to the next day. The next day, that is now 24th of June 2025. Now let us mark, the way we have marked the high and low of the previous candle. Now let us see how we closed in relationship to the previous candle. We opened here, and after opening here, we like just went up aggressively, and we closed where? We closed here, creating that high, and this is where we closed. This is where that day closed. This one here. Okay. I'll do another video for people who are still having confusion with open, high, low, close. I'm going to do that. And if you really need that video, leave a comment and let me know when you need it, and you'll have it. So we closed above this candle of 23rd. By 24th, we closed above. Actually, we displaced above it, meaning that the body closed above the highs of the previous candle. Once the body closes above the highs of the previous candles, and we still have valid liquidity support, and we see how aggressive it closed, it even closed above the high of that period, the high of now maybe 11th June. We as well displaced above it, because as you can see, if you mark this high here, displacement is when the body discloses above the highs or lows of a certain range, of a certain candle. Okay, so once we displaced above here, this shows that the next day, that is now 25th, when you're looking for setups, we're looking for trading, we're only looking for buys. And you see people who bought here, they still want the trade because it only went higher. Now we are looking for trades the next day, that is on Thursday 26th. The same thing. You come here, you mark the high, and also we mark the low of the previous what? Of the previous candle. And as you can see, now on Wednesday, which is 25th, we displaced above it. Take a close look. We displaced above it. Okay. So once we displaced above it, this shows that the market is still interested in going higher. And leaving that behind, we also created a bullish daily fair value gap. That is a more added confluence to our buyers. So if you understand the concept of PDRAs, and if you don't, leave a comment in the section. I'll make another video for that. But I already did a video, I think it was yesterday, about fair value gaps. Go check it out. Here is a fair value gap created here on a daily bias. And apart from that bullish fair value gap being created, we have displaced above the previous day highs, meaning that the body of this Wednesday, 25th June 2025, displaced above the body or above the high of Tuesday, 24th June 2025. So 25th displaced above the highs of June 24th. Perfect. That shows that the next day we are supposed to be looking forward for buys. And as you can see, we opened here, created this low, and people bought all the day long, It was all buy until we closed up here after getting that high. I hope you guys are understanding how to identify daily buyers. This is very powerful because, as you can see, ever since I started over here determining that daily bias, it has been buying, and as you can see, it has always been continuing. Okay. Now, I want us to go to the next day. The next day, we mark also the previous day. We mark like the high and the low of the day before the previous day. Oh, sorry, of the day before the day, which is now on Friday, because we were trading on 26th. If you can remember what I was talking about, this buys here based on this one relationship to this one. Okay, so now we mark this one. and we have already closed above it again. We displaced above it. Okay. So what do you expect on Friday again? We still buy because we displaced above the previous high of the day. So as you can see, the buys we opened here, went down there, to for manipulation purposes, and went higher and higher and higher. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope this was helpful to you, and now you can be able to support the daily buyers, and I'll be able to give more information. I don't want to make too much longer videos, to keep you guys watching and watching and watching and not getting anything. I just want to keep them as short as possible, possibly 15 minutes. So I'm going to be doing another video again, how to, go deeper on daily bias and how to establish. Already I've talked about how to establish a daily bias, and I've illustrated on this video. And even today, what's happening here today, we're supposed to be buying on Nasdaq. So if you're watching this, because we displaced yesterday, as you can see, the yesterday candle displaced above the Wednesday candles aggressively. So that even today, when you're trading Nasdaq, just look for buys, and that's how I often establish my daily bias. So once you have your daily bias confirmed, just look for anything, any setup that aligns with it. And that's it for this video. I'm going to go into deeper concept, more advanced theory of it in Hourly, how to use it on Hourly, on how to, you can establish even a weekly bias, monthly bias, how you can establish a session bias and so on. So hit that like and subscribe button, and see you in the next one. Bye.